envy is actually saying yes to the life that God has for you. Frequently, God will tell Israel, don't be envious of other nations. Don't be envious of the size of their army, because you're going to be a people of peace. Don't be envious of the size of their wealth, because you're going to be a people of generosity. Don't be envious over the size of their temples, because your God is everywhere. The life that God has for Israel meant rejecting envy for the other nations. And the life that God has for you means rejecting envy where you find it in your world. Because it's an invitation to leave the path. I want to talk to you a little bit about how we're going to reject this envy. And I got 3 simple things here, of course. The first one's this: just keep your eyes to yourself. Sounds simple. But you and I all know that Facebook is free because we're the product, right? They want our eyes. They want us to see the advertisements that remind us of the things we don't have, but yet we could buy. But keep your eyes to yourself. This doesn't just mean like on the lust side, which is part of it for sure, but it means with cars or with things you can buy or the lifestyle. The problem is that we are always like looking at somebody else's highlight reel and then comparing it with our blooper reel. We don't know the cost. We look at the child that is just crushing it grades-wise and crushing it extracurricular and crushing it everywhere, and we just see someone who's just winning, and we're not seeing someone who is buried under overachiever syndrome, who's on the verge of burnout before they hit high school. We look at the perfect picture on the wall, and we miss all the hundreds of pictures of the family fighting before that picture was taken. It gives us a false sense of reality. We don't see the cost, but we also don't see that it's not a fit for you. So when we're looking at other people, when we're looking at those, it's just reminding us, it's that invitation, it's that draw to get off of the path God has you on and get onto the other one. So keep your eyes to yourself. That might look like deleting social media from your phone from time to time or permanently. It might mean being careful with the type of shows you choose to watch or the type of conversations you want to have. Keep your eyes to yourself. The next is celebrate what you have. Gratitude is the opposite of envy. I think we got to know that. Because gratitude is saying, I want what I have. Envy is saying, I want what I don't have. And as we say in our household a whole lot, getting what you want will never make you happy. Wanting what you have will. But I want to kick it up a notch. I want to say celebrate what you have. Don't just, thank you, God. Please do that. Kick it up a notch. Throw a birthday party for your family. Why? Because we love each other. Oh, okay, cool. Like brag on it a little bit. Not to the pride level, but you know what I'm talking about? When you can't help but talk about it, you're just excited about it. Let that excitement flow for a little bit. Celebrate what you have. Celebrate the relationships in your life. Celebrate the things that God has provided. Celebrate your victories. Celebrate the grace that God is doing in those areas where you're struggling. And the reason I want you to do this is because in Psalm 23:1, David lays it out for us really clearly. The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. Or in other translations, I shall not want. What? We celebrate because God's provided everything. I mean, hasn't he? And so when we stop and we celebrate, we start to realize just how richness God's grace and blessing is towards us, and it opens our eyes and we start to live in that space, and we start to become immune to the things that we don't have because the things we do have are so, so good. The last thing, keep your eyes to yourself, celebrate what you have. and trust your God. This is critical, I think, because the whole of the Ten Commandments starts with, I am the Yahweh God, the God of freedom, the God of life, the God of love. I am your God. Trust your God. Trust the God who has brought you here. Trust the God who has sent his Son to die for you, to give you hope now and hope forever. Trust the God who's given you life that will conquer death. Trust the God who's bringing the broken pieces back together. What you have is enough because God has given you enough. And if it's all there is, it's enough. So trust your God.